Hello, I'm Pauline from Pauline's Quilters World, and welcome to our presentation on our Christmas tree. We call this our Decorative Christmas Tree, and it's a fun thing for you to start making up, getting ready for the happy festive season that will be coming around very, very quickly. I don't know where the year goes, it just flies by, but I always try to get things organised well in advance, but I never ever succeed. But this year we decided we're right into it. So this is our beautiful tree, and it's a very, very easy construction. But not only do you get the pattern for the tree, you also get the pattern to make some placemats. So the placemat, this could be a placemat to decorate your Christmas table with the napkin, or you could use these on the wall. Don't put the napkin on it, and use these on the wall to decorate your home. So there's lots of things you can do with it. As well as the pattern for the tree and for the table mats, we also give you two gorgeous decorations to put on the tree. This comes in the pattern. You get the holly stick and you get the gingerbread man in with the pattern, and then you can add these to the tree, or you could add them to these little trees. You could stitch them on to add some features to your table mats, or if you put it on the wall as a decoration, you could add these things to it. Now we're going to come in closely at the tree and have a really good look at it. So it's all constructed with 2.5 inch wide strips and a 2 1/4 inch wide strip of batting, and we've made it up like a jelly roll rug. So it's exactly the same process as making a jelly roll rug, except we're not going around in a circle or an oval, we're just laying straight strips down. All the strips are zigzag together, and I'm going to show you how to do the strips in a moment. But once we've done that, we've used the jelly roll sasher tool, which is our blue tool. This one here, this is what we put our strips through with the batting to make the tree. Then to make the star, we've used the honey bun tool. So this is the red one. It's a bit narrower than the jelly roll one. This one works with 1.5 inch wide strip. This one works with 2.5 inch wide strips. So we're going to use both of those tools to construct the tree and the star. But while we're looking at the tree closely, we do have available for you as an additional pack other decorations that you can hang on your tree. And it really makes it exciting that you can have this tree forever. You can hang it on the wall, you can put it on the floor, you could hang it anywhere in your home, and you could decorate it up with all of these different decorations. And we've just stitched little bells onto the tree, just tiny little bells that you can get anywhere. Then we've made some roulet loops, and I'm going to show you how we do those. And we've tied the decoration to that, and then we've just hooked it on over the bell. So there's lots of things you can do to decorate your tree. You might like to hang your Christmas cards off here. You might like to put a swag across, making some roulet loops, and get some little pegs and peg your Christmas cards on there. You might be able to write little verses on a little card and put on here. There's lots and lots of options you've got with making a tree like this. But you could hang it, and what I'm going to do is hang it on the family room wall. Come Christmas time, I'm going to have a table under it, and it'll all have all my Christmas bags. All the gifts will be under this tree. Then I don't have to worry about putting up a big tree, pulling it down. I've just got to take this down, roll it up and put it away for the next year, and it'll last forever. You could make the tree a lot bigger than what we've given you the pattern for, just by increasing the pattern, tracing it out bigger and making it longer. So you could make a beautiful big tree, and it can become your family heirloom. Make one for all the family members. And basically we've made it up out of all of our scraps of green fabric. You might have a different colour theme. You might want a purple tree. You might want a white Christmas tree. You might want all different colours in your tree. So you have the availability with the pattern to be able to make any size tree. So the pattern does come in sections because it is quite big. So you will have to either trace the pattern onto brown paper or old newspaper, or you will have to stick the pattern pieces together that come in here. We suggest you trace it out onto another piece of paper so you've always got your original. But let's get started. You might not have scraps of fabrics, but you can buy a jelly roll. Now a jelly roll is usually a pack that's all rolled up. It usually gives you about 42 strips that are cut 2.5 inches wide, and they're usually fabrics that work in a range. So you may be able to find a jelly roll pack of all greens or the colour theme that you want to work with. We then use the Hobbs, this beautiful batting. This is made specially for this sort of thing. This is the Hobbs double-sided fusible batting. Now it's all pre-cut for us. With the tree you'll need more than one roll, but we have a package where you can buy 2 rolls together and you'll get the Christmas tree and a couple of the mats out of it. But this is fusible. So what we do is get our strips of fabric out. Here's one of the fabrics we've used in our tree. This is what's left over out of our roll. This is fusible on both sides. If I put the iron on it, it's not going to stick to it and mess my iron up. I just put the batting out on the ironing surface, the fabric strip over the top, and the batting doesn't come right to either side. Just leave it so it's sitting in the middle, and just press. Just slowly press, and the light adhesive that's on this batting will adhere to your fabric, but it doesn't stick to your ironing board, which is nice. So just keep working down till you get the whole strip pressed with the batting on the back. You can cut your own batting for this, but you'll find that it becomes a little bit challenging. Having this batting, it makes it so much easier. And it'll last and last and last. And it won't stretch on you too much. It won't create big problems like some other battings can. So now we've got that whole strip now ironed onto our fabric. Come back to the end. Fold the ends in on both sides till it meets and press. Just press the end so it sits nice and even. Hold the tool in your hand, come up from underneath, go over that centre bar and back down, just like you use all of our other sashes. But you do need to use the blue one because it's different to our yellow ones. The yellow ones are made for fabric only, and a strip of fabric with the batting in it won't go through the regular ones. It'll twist all your fabric. So now what we're going to do is now we'll go straight to the sewing machine. So you would go to your sewing machine, and we suggest having the right foot on the machine. Now the best foot to use here, no matter what machine you're using, is use the 1/4 inch foot. Okay, this is a regular 1/4 inch foot. We like to use the 1/4 inch foot that's got the little guide that comes down the side. So I hope you can pick that up nicely. But I find this guide works really well and it keeps me nice and even as I sew this. So put your 1/4 inch foot on, whichever one you have. You would put this under the foot of the machine and pull this down about 8 inches. And that, you can see how it's folding the fabric and the batting for me. We're going to fold this over in half now. Put your needle down. I'm going to put a pin in here as if it was my needle. Then that will anchor it. You pull this down a bit further and you roll it over and you start stitching in a 1/4 inch from the edge. And you just keep sewing down. When you get close to the tool, pull the tool down a bit further. It will do the folding for you. Roll over and keep stitching. And you just keep pulling and stitching till you get the whole strip sewn a 1/4 inch in from the edge. And when you do that, this is what it looks like. And you just make up lots and lots of strips. So here are all of our strips sewn, and you can see how I've stitched in that 1/4 inch from the edge. So from this edge in 1/4 inch. Use a matching thread, or you can use a contrasting thread, it's up to you. Then the next thing we suggest you do, because this pattern is all shaped, you don't want to, waste too much fabric. So we suggest that you lay your pattern out on the table, and then that you lay the strips out on the pattern, starting at the bottom, because that's the part that'll take up the longest strips. So you want the strips to come out about 1 inch or so either side of the pattern. So lay them down closely together so you get about 10 strips laying together, just like we would here. So we'll just lay these out. Oops, this one wants to twist on me. I'll just put it underneath there. And just work your colours. So now the folded edge is going to sit up against this open edge. You don't want to sit them in tight against each other. You don't want to put that edge going inside that little ledge. You just want to butt them up against each other. So as I said, lay down about 10 strips till you get the colour combination working for you. So when you're happy with what you've got there, pick those strips up and go to your sewing machine. Now we're going to start sewing these together with a regular zigzag. You don't want to have the zigzag too tight together, too close. You want it a little bit open. And we suggest you use the stitch in the ditch foot or the edge stitching foot. Now I don't know if you can see, this has got a little guide that comes down through the middle of the foot. Okay, that little guide is what is going to sit between those 2 layers of fabrics. So if you put that guide down in between the 2 layers and you set your zigzag up so the zigzag catches both of the edge, this will keep you very straight. So the zigzag will sit evenly on both sides. So we really recommend having the right foot for the job. Just contact your dealer, give them the model and the brand of your machine, and they will be able to accommodate you with the right foot for doing this. So once you get about 10 sewn together, 10 of the longest strips, take it from under the machine and have a look at it, because sometimes as you're sewing this you might be pulling the strip too hard as you're stitching, and you can start to get a twist in your unit. If when you take it out from the machine it's starting to twist and it's got a bit of bow on it, put it onto the ironing board and spray these strips with water. Then press it with a hot iron to dry the strips, and leave it pinned into the ironing board while you work on the next section, okay, which will be a bit, the strips won't be needing to be as long. So lay out the next 10 strips and join them together, then press them, and then keep working up till you get all of the units done, the 3 sections done, or you might do it in 4 or 5 sections, it doesn't matter. But press each section as you go so it doesn't twist, and then come back and join them all together so you've got one complete shape. Then once you've done that, put your pattern on top of your pieces, draw around your shape, and we suggest you use the Chalko marker because this is what will mark all the different coloured fabrics for you. And I hope you can see that, but it shows up on all of those fabrics. So trace around your shape, stitch, go back to your machine and use a straight stitch and stitch just inside that line, or you can stitch on the line, and then you'll cut your tree out a bit bigger. So cut out the whole shape of the tree. Then you're going to make up the stem, and you know, we do give you the instructions in there for making the stem up. And after we got the stem made, we'll come back in close to the tree. As you can see here on our tree, we've put a couple of pieces of batting inside this fabric, and then we've gone back and done some nice quilting on it. If you don't want to quilt it, it doesn't matter. You might be a person that would prefer to quilt straight lines, horizontally and vertically, or you might want to quilt a grid, but it just makes it sit nice and flat and nice and plump. So you'll then bind the tree. You will have to cut your binding on the bias because it has to go around the curves, and it shows you in the pattern how to do that. The star, as I said before, is made up using the red honey bun sasha, this one, and you're going to use it at the machine exactly as you did to make up these strips, but it just turns out a little bit narrower. Then you'll lay your pattern piece down for the star. You'll lay all of these on it till you get enough, and then you'll go back and you'll zigzag those together. And then cut out the star shape. Now we've left the star edge raw. We didn't put a binding around it, we just left these edges raw because it'll just fray eventually and give a nice sparkly effect. So you don't have to bind it, but if you're a person that can't live with raw edges, you may want to bind it. So that is the star. So we've got it all bound, we've got the trunk on, we've got the star on. So now all we have to do is decide where we're going to put the decorations, if you want to put the decorations on it. I'm just going to show you how we make up the little roulet to put the decorations on, or how we make the ties to tie our napkin on the side. But can you imagine your Christmas table laid out with all of these table mats there with your lovely Christmas setting sitting on top? But as I said, you might want to make them in a different theme colour, whatever you're going to use for this year's decorations. So now I've cut this strip of fabric 1/2 inch wide. I'm going to put it onto the ironing surface with the wrong side up to me. I'm going to fold each side in till they meet and press the start. Then I'm going to turn this so the folded edge is facing down onto the ironing surface, and I'm going to thread it through the 1/4 inch sasher tool. So we're going to go up and down. We use something sharp like an awl to poke it back in that hole. Then we're going to pin into the ironing surface with the double fork pin, because this will give equal tension to both sides of my strip. We're going to hold the fabric nice and straight, and the curve in the tool here is designed to fit the side of any iron. And all we're going to do is push. And you just slowly push that tool with the iron. When you get to the edge, run your iron back over it, because you want lots of heat in this strip of fabric to keep that lovely fold. Going to reposition the pin and keep ironing till we get the whole strip done. And that's how simple it is to make nice fine strips of fabric. Can't get any easier than that. Now to make the roulet, we now come and we fold this in half again. So now it is 1/8 of an inch, so it's nice and fine. We're going to use the 1/8 inch sasher. Now the hardest thing with doing this is actually getting it into the hole. Oh, it's gone straight through, that's wonderful. Use your awl and poke that back down through. We're going to pin into the ironing surface once again. Oops, I just need to get that over. Pin once again. Then just fold ahead of yourself and push with the iron. And that will give you a beautiful, beautiful 1/8 of an inch strip of fabric that you can use to tie things on with. This is great if you want to make stems for applique also. You can, I don't find any other tool out there that will make a thin strip like this for you as easy as what this does. So with the ties, we went back and we stitched down through the middle just to keep that all tied together and neat, so it didn't pop undone. We did the same with the little loops that we put on the decorations for the tree. So it's a very, very, very simple process, and the pattern shows you step by step. And the nice thing is that you get the candy cane and the gingerbread man, it comes with the pattern. But we also have additional kits that you can buy all the different decorations. So here we've got the beautiful candles. We've got the gorgeous purple Merry Christmas. The reindeer, which is just gorgeous. And it's probably a little bit hard to see, but it does stand out on the tree. Then we've got the gorgeous star that glitters. Then we've got the little tree. and you get another candy cane. So you can buy all of those 6 decorations in another pack, or you could buy 2 or 3 packs. But like, how gorgeous would these look if you stitched the decorations onto these trees? And you had these hanging around the house. If you haven't got a big area to hang in, make yourself a little tree and make it very personalised. So that's just a little bit about how you can make yourself a gorgeous tree to hang anywhere in your house. Imagine this in the foyer as people came in. You could do a big welcome sign, or a big sign that says Merry Christmas above it. You could hang some baubles off these. You could hang some glitter off them. You could hang anything off them to make it look really, really effective. So imagine putting the tinsel on the tree and decorating it up further. So we just want you to have fun with our Christmas decorations. And I don't know if you've already know about our gorgeous Santa. We have a pattern for the Santa, and we show you step by step how to make that. And then we also have the Christmas stocking, which we're going to show you in another video how to make it up. So there's lots of things that we're adding to our Christmas collection, so we'd love you to look at our website, because we will be releasing more Christmas things. But our website is www.pqw.com.au. While you're on the website, please subscribe to get our newsletter, because we're going to have some very interesting things coming up very soon that you might like to be part of. Also go and look at our YouTube channel, because we have lots and lots of videos there on all of our different tools that we produce here at Pauline's Quilters World. Also, we have some awesome patterns that you might like to use, but we show you all of that on our YouTube channel. So, and subscribe to that channel, so when we put a new video up for you, you'll get notification, so you can go in and have a look at that video. So thank you for joining in the fun. We wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas. No matter what time of the year it is you're watching this video, it's time to get ready for that lovely festive season. So bye for now. See you again.